Welcome to Boys in the Burgh, the podcast all about Pittsburgh. You're looking at these boys right here. It's not about just the Burgh, it's also about the boys. But what about boys that are on a soccer field and us watching the boy? Never mind. Okay. How about us watching men play soccer on a soccer field?
Good, U-turn.
Yes. My name is Chris Speranza.
I'm JJ. Welcome to the show. We're excited you guys are here.
So I kind of felt like I was going in this is Pittsburgh related too. Did you ever see the Kurt Angle promo where he is cutting a promo on Rey Mysterio and he goes, "You're a boy and I'm a man and this man loves to play with boys." And he's like, "No, that's not what I meant."
Absolutely love that. Yes.
And he does it like 3 times. But anywho, it is getting warmer outside in Pittsburgh and then it'll probably get cold again. But while it is warm, and while one of the most interesting soccer games in Pittsburgh history has happened, we figured we'd strike while the iron was hot. We are talking about soccer in Pittsburgh because it's not really talked about. People like to talk about football, um, hockey, and baseball, which is the jersey I have hanging behind me. And sorry, the Pirates lost their first game of the season, and sorry, Paul Skeens got benched, but and sorry that one guy in the outfield just completely missed the ball. Whatever. We're here to talk about a sport that's not talked about enough in Pittsburgh, and that is soccer. So
That wasn't the home opener, was it?
no, it was not. They were in New
Cool.
York. They played the Mets.
The Mets, baby, the Mets.
The Mets, baby, the Mets. Let's go, let's go.
Get another home run. We had a really interesting thing happen last night, which yesterday was March 25th. For the first time in almost 70 years, we had 2 teams in Pittsburgh compete to be in the U.S. Cup, which is a huge thing across the country and is the first time that this has happened in quite some time. So we wanted to talk about it today.
And I'm glad you did a lot of research on it because I have a lot of questions. And just to kind of talk about my soccer hood real quick, I'm wearing a Pittsburgh Riverhounds jersey today. So just to kind of show it off, that Allegheny Health Network. This is last year's jersey. The advantage I have is the jersey they won the championship with.
It's a good one.
Where was I going with this?
Your history with soccer?
Yes, I didn't really get into soccer until 2022 during the World Cup. And I was working from home at the time. And I just decided, I'm just going to throw this on TV in the background. And the professional level and country hatred that people have for each other really made it a interesting thing to watch. Luckily, the World Cup is not in Qatar this year. It is in the United States, technically North America, Mexico and Canada as well. So that's kind of where my soccerness kind of took over. I surprisingly did not cheer for the United States. As soon as they got out, I was like, whatever. I started cheering for France because they had a really, really good soccer player called Kylian Mbappe. And they faced Argentina in the World Cup final, which Lionel Messi ended up getting that World Cup win. So now he's like a big legend. Sorry, that was a big rant, but that's how I kind of started watching soccer.
That's awesome. I started watching back when the Riverhounds first came to Pittsburgh. And I'm not talking like 1999. I'm talking like whenever they built Highmark Stadium. Because we'll go over this a little bit here, but once Highmark Stadium was built and I was working for PNC Bank, I got to see a lot of really cool things at Highmark Stadium. So that's kind of where my love for Pittsburgh soccer and just Pittsburgh football came to be.
And also, Highmark Stadium is such a multi-purpose stadium. And before I get to the multi-purposeness, it is such a environment of going to a AAA baseball game. Because like I said a while ago, when I went to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds game for the first time, afterwards they let everyone on the field. Everyone got an autograph from a soccer player, and basically they did fireworks, and everyone just got to lay a blanket on the field and just watch it. Like, it gives a very AAA baseball environment.
Ironically enough, one of the places they used to play at was the Washington Wild Things Stadium.
Ooh, that is so far away.
Not I mean, yeah, okay, that's fair.
When I was looking for internships back in the days, I wanted to work for like a professional sports team. And I didn't even think about the Riverhounds. And I was looking at the Washington Wild Things, and it was like, oh, how far of a commute could this be from Irwin? 1 hour. Like, uh, why would I do an hour commute, JJ? An
Yeah.
hour commute sounds terrible, JJ.
Yeah, who would ever wanna drive a mile for work? Oh my god.
An hour for work.
Anyway, let's get off of that.
So tell me a little bit more. Pepper me with some knowledge, okay? I just see. Never mind. Don't do that hand motion. But no, not even that hand motion.
We'll actually start with the big difference. You'll notice that in the names of the teams, you have teams like Steel City FC and Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. So F as in Frank, C as in Cal, S as in Sam, C as in Cal. The difference is football club compared to soccer club. And I couldn't find any reason as to why it's one way or the other. Obviously, they call soccer football everywhere but United States. And I guess that just carried over to some of the clubs over here. So we have the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, which is a soccer club, and the Still City, which is a football club. Just kind of throwing that out there. Did you know the difference between them?
No, all I know is if I look at the standings for the USL Championship, which is the name of the league, and for a Ted Lasso quote, why do they call it the championship when it's just a league? So, that's just what they call it. Uh, Basically, there are teams that do have FC or SC like in the beginning of them, and it's very weird, but you know what? I like it. I think it's a good time.
Well, at the end.
At the end, yeah, I don't know what I said. So, I'll look up the standings right now and just kinda see who has FC and who has SC.
Dude, I found out some really interesting things. First things first, with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they were founded in 1992. They are obviously the 2025 winners, like the jersey you're wearing, and they reached the quarterfinals in 2021 and 2023. So they have been good consistently for a while now. In their league, or their championship league, there are 25 teams, but there are soon to be 32 teams because they just built an expansion with a couple of different teams. I guess
Yes,
Buffalo's one of them.
it's a growing league, and I hope in your notes, because I don't have any, I hope in your notes you have, the giant expansion they're gonna be doing with the league in a couple more years to try and compete with the Major League Soccer league.
Yeah, I don't have many notes on that. I just know that they are trying to get 32 teams because that is like there's 32 teams in most professional sports. And USL, for Chris, you mentioned it earlier, it's like one step below Major League Soccer. So it's like it's really close, but it's still one step below Major League Soccer.
Yeah, and basically, I don't know what year it is, but they're gonna be expanding to, like there's gonna be, like, a USL Premier League, basically, then there's gonna be, like, the USL Championship, and then the USL 2 league, so they're gonna have their own tiered system.
Which USL 2 is where Steel City is.
That's interesting because the Riverhounds just made, like, a USL 2 teams. Le
There's a
le
river
Oh, go ahead.
there's a Riverhounds 2 on the 2 tier, and then there's a Riverhounds regular on the USL.
So, the USL 2 has the Riverhounds 2 and the Steel City Football Club.
Yes. They're not in the same actually, I think they are in the same division. I think it's okay, I have that later on my notes. Actually, let me look at that real quick here.
That's fine. I'll vamp. So yeah, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they've been playing for quite some time. Highmark Stadium, a beautiful stadium. Uh, I will say one thing that I think would make watching soccer a little bit more interesting, and I think you might have experienced this while watching the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who beat the Steel City Football Club 2-1, which was a good game and went all the way to the end. Um, I wish it was not filmed like a high school soccer game.
Yeah, on YouTube of all, like, places, come on, guys.
So that's every game. So every game is filmed in that style of just one single camera back and forth the entire time. And you don't realize like the how much it puts you back into it having a multi-camera system and just cameras being everywhere. When Pittsburgh played Tulsa in the USL Championship Finals, they had the multi-camera because they were on CBS for that on national television.
Now that's cool. What yeah, there's that, and then the announcers, like, the one guy said, "There's this player on the field from Erie, Pennsylvania," which is here in Pittsburgh, and the other guy goes, "No, it's not. I think it's, like, a farther away." I was like, "Guys, come on."
The guy that scored on the Steel City Football Club, he was a medical student or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, oh, I just wrote his name down, Nick Grisea or Grasa.
Ooh, TikTok's not gonna like that. They don't if you don't know how to say his name right.
I know how to spell it right, Graeca. How do y'all pronounce that?
What was his first name again?
Nick.
Nick? Okay. Good on you, Nick. Good job with
Yep.
that goal.
I mean, I was reading some stuff today about, like, what the coaches thought, and I guess Steel City really brought it. They brought the heat, and you can tell, like, they were going crazy, running around, like, headbutting, like, the ball and everything. They were, like, doing the penalties or the yeah, red cards or whatever, like, when they needed to. It was exciting, even on that one camera.
Just know we don't watch soccer a lot. So, yes, that at the last minute when that guy got like the yellow card and just was like, "What?" and the ref was like, "Oh yeah, red." That reminds me of the movie Dodgeball, where it's just like, "Hey, that's a." Like, remember the ref pulls out like a little tassel or something.
Yeah, just remember, guys, we don't watch dodgeball all the time, so we don't know the rules.
Yes. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, but in your little history lesson, did Pittsburgh have a soccer team prior to the Riverhounds that kind of inspired this to happen?
Yeah, man, so the game that was played yesterday was very important because it was the first time, as we talked about, in 7 decades that 2 Pittsburgh area teams have faced each other in the US Open Cup, which is a historic event for the region's soccer community. It was the first game against each other since 1957 when the Harmarville Hurricanes defeated a team from Bridgeville called Morgan Strasser 2-1. But 1957 is about 45 years after the first team was created in Pittsburgh in 1910.
So it wasn't called like the Pittsburgh Football Club, Pittsburgh Soccer Club. It was just like little towns in Pittsburgh. It's like Harmerville or like, Blawnox. The Blawnox.
I'm gonna shout out pittsburghsoccer.com, pittsburghsoccernow.com, because they had an awesome article with some really great quotes. Between 1942 and 1956, Pittsburgh area teams captured 4 national titles. These squads were composed of coal miner footballers where they worked grueling shifts underground before taking to the fields like Consumer Field or Bridgeville. So, like, coal miners and factory workers would do their job and then go play soccer afterwards.
Can you go into the history again of how Highmark Stadium became a thing? Um, I assume like soccer wasn't popular, and then they kind of like shut it down, and then years later, they wanted to bring a soccer team to Pittsburgh, and then like what was the purpose of building Highmark Stadium? Did they realize the Riverhounds were catching that much buzz, and they were just like, "We gotta build a stadium for this now"?
Pretty much. Like the Riverhounds have been around since 1992. So they've been in the Washington Wild Things Stadium, they've been in Cheswick, they've been all over Pittsburgh, and they never
Eh,
actually yeah, there you go. Little
that
pats on
says
his shirt there.
99. It says 99
You
on
know what?
there.
I think it is 99. I think I put 92 on accident.
I saved you. I was made in 92, but the Riverhounds were made in 99.
I think that's why I put that there because I was thinking about you on our podcast.
Mm.
Yeah, 99. It looks like what happened was that they just got really popular. And from playing all over Pittsburgh, all Pittsburghers had a chance to go to a couple different games. Highmark just kinda came out of that, you know? And I'm sure Highmark had a lot to do with it too, which it's called Highmark Stadium, so, like, I'm sure they had a lot to do with the building of that.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Acrisure Stadium turned into like UPMC Stadium in the future. Like it's just gonna have like Highmark, UPMC, and PNC Park. Just three of the most corrupt businesses just owning a stadium in Pittsburgh.
When I worked for Allegheny Health Network, that's where we did our onboarding, was Highmark Stadium. So, it's a really great center. Like you said, it's a multimedia or multi-use center for a lot of different things,
Now
not
go a
just
little bit
soccer.
more into that. What did you have to do while you were there onboarding?
Just stuff you would typically do, like you got like your spiel about what Highmark's, I'm sorry, it was Highmark and Allegheny Health Network because it's the same group now. Just their reason for being and what their expectations are and what you should expect from them, and then they gave you a really great dinner, and it was awesome. I actually really enjoyed it.
I have questions because every time corporate events happen on at a stadium, I'm always just like, do it on the field. I imagine they did not do it on the field.
That was all closed off. I tried sneaking down there and all the doors were closed.
Yeah, and just like, people will be like, "We had our prom at Heinz Field." And I'm just like, "Was it on the field?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Then what's the purpose?" There is no purpose to doing anything at a stadium unless you could go on the field.
My first thought is like, well, they probably pay a lot of money to keep it clean. And my second thought is they had Kenny Chesney concerts for years there. So like, of course it's not about the money.
Yeah. So, yeah. But Highmark Stadium, hopefully with this new build that they're going to do, adding 10,000 more seats to make it a 15,000 seat stadium. Hopefully we're going to get a little bit more concerts. Apparently we're getting a new venue that's like in the North Shore that they're going to have like Wiz Khalifa there and everything. And supposedly they're doing some, what do they say? Nelly's going to be there for like a post NFL draft uh, after party. So getting up there. We're starting to get a lot of concert venues in main areas of Pittsburgh.
The NFL draft may be one of the best things that's happened to the city of Pittsburgh because they are just building everything up to make sure that everybody has something to do all the time. And it's so great to see.
I'm going to tell everyone right now what someone told me today while I was at my job. It is free to go to the NFL draft. All you got to do is register on NFL.com. I came this close just to registering for fun, but I have no one to go with me. However, I am a content creator. I might, maybe, I don't know. I might go down. I don't know yet. I don't know if
That's
I
the
want to
other
deal with
boy in the
that
Berg.
madness. I know we're the boys in the Burgh. I'm like the
No, no,
boy
no, no.
of the Greensburg.
Ask the other boy in the Berg that was just on a couple weeks ago.
We can ask Andy to go down.
Yes.
He could be our Cub reporter.
Our cousin Andy would love that. I think he would like that at least.
But he likes hockey more than football, so I don't know how much of interest he would have.
And beer.
Okay. If I get him a case of beer, I will force him to go to the NFL draft so I don't have to.
Except it's ham beer.
Enjoy this ham beer. For
I
people
did read a
asking,
fun
what is ham? It's not ham juice. It's called Ham's beer.
it's out of I just talked to my coworker about this who listens to this podcast. It's out of Wisconsin. So it's a really, really popular beer in Wisconsin.
Nice. And, going from the NFL draft to the soccer field, football, transitions. What else do you have about, your notes that you have right there about soccer in Pittsburgh?
So I wrote down some really cool team names that were big back in the day, like the Erie Commodores, which I think that's actually a team that's still around today. Harmerville was a big one. Where is Oh, I actually wrote a lot of notes about, the US Open Cup, which is what the game was for yesterday. It was round 1 of the US Open Cup, Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. What do you know about that?
Okay, I will start from the beginning. I don't know anything about it. All I know is just like in England, they just have no, not in England, like everywhere. Like they'll just have random competitions throughout the season and it confuses me very much. It'll be like Liverpool is going to be playing Manchester United, and then they're going to be playing Barcelona, and it's like, what? No, those are two different areas.
So I have a whole breakdown on that, and I found this super interesting. Going back, the U.S. Open Cup, it's the oldest ongoing national soccer competition in the United States. Soccer competition. It's a knockout cup competition. So when you lose, you're out. You don't get like best of sevens or anything like that. It was first created during the 1913 1914 seasons. It consists of teams from Major League Soccer, USL Championship, USL League One, and National Independent Soccer Association and USL League Two. It is basically high school, college, all the way up to Major League can compete for this cup, which is a newer-ish thing.
Interesting. So we can see, we can see like the Pittsburgh Riverhounds take on like the Los Angeles Galaxy. I guess they're a major league soccer team, so I guess we can see that.
In a perfect world, yes. But as you saw yesterday, Still City is a USL two league, so all of the smaller leagues kind of play the first four rounds, and then whoever's left plays the major league teams. And there are 16 major league teams that are in those rounds, so it weans itself down quickly whenever it finally gets to the major league teams.
Why does Lamar Hunt sound familiar? It sounds like a very familiar name, and I imagine you've done some sort of research on who this gentleman is.
I did a little bit, and I should have done more. I know he was a really big deal in soccer, bringing soccer to the United States back in those days. I may be wrong with saying that, but I just know he's a really big name in soccer in America. But oh wait, okay. So the closest MLS team to Pittsburgh, I just want to throw this out there. So the closest major league team is the Columbus Crew out of Columbus, Ohio.
Boy, Columbus.
Just throwing that out there because Pittsburgh doesn't have a major league team yet. The winner is awarded $300,000 in prize money and a berth, so they get to go to the CONCACAF Championship Cup, and this is where North America, Central America, and the Caribbean islands, all their teams compete, and the winner of that cup gets automatically to go to the FIFA World Cup.
Whoa. Okay. That's a lot going on there.
That's what I got. I went down this rabbit hole and it got so interesting. I couldn't look at anything else.
So you're saying if the Pittsburgh Riverhounds win absolutely everything, the Pitts you said the FIFA World Cup, they have to be like United States after that. Like it's not just like it's going to be Argentina versus the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Like they would get destroyed.
True. I don't know what happens whenever the FIFA World Cup comes. I don't know if they take like the best players or if they take the team and then like do something with them. But from everything I was reading, you do get a automatic qualification for the FIFA World Cup and FIFA Intercontinental Cup.
It's so much. It's like soccer is still one of those sports where it involves the entire world, which is interesting because the entire world plays soccer. And dare I say, in 100 years, it's probably going to be that way with flag football in a weird way. Like you're going to be like, flag football started with Thomas Brady and Logan S. Paul.
I do want to throw out there that sorry. for every for every men's team, there is a women's team too. So there's always a women's league that does the same stuff. And I don't think it's called the Lamar Hunt. It may be. I didn't do too much research on the women's league, but there are both are there. So I think that's pretty cool too.
Don't you forget about the Pittsburgh Riveters. They are the women's soccer team of Pittsburgh.
Isn't also Pittsburgh Pride? Is that like the lower
Mm-mm.
levels?
I think we talked about this before. I think Pittsburgh Pride is the foot women's football team. No, that's the Pittsburgh Passion. The Pittsburgh
That's
Passion
it. Okay,
is that,
that's it. That's it.
and the Pittsburgh Riveters is the women's soccer team. And I hate to say it's because I haven't watched that much of Pittsburgh Riveters, but I do enjoy that it is very uh, gender friendly. Of just like this team gets a male team and this team gets a female team. It's great. There's like I don't know, it's just great, and Ted Lasso in the new season, it looks like that he's gonna be coaching, like, the AFC Richmond women's soccer team, like, in that show. So, it's really good that everyone gets their I don't know what I'm trying to say. Everyone gets, like, their
It's their
flowers.
due. Yeah, yeah, gets their flowers is a good way to say it.
Yeah. So, yep, go Riverhounds, go Riveters, go Steel City, go Riverhounds 2.
Well, and it's a big this is why it's such a big deal. And let's say something insane happened and Steel City got all the way to the huge cup. Like we could have had some like college kid out of Duquesne playing for USA in stinking Barcelona. So like you know what I mean? Like you just or I'm sorry, Los Angeles. So it's that's why it was such a big deal. These kids, Steel City FC, it was founded in 2021 whenever the Pittsburgh Arsenal and Pittsburgh Hotspurs joined. Did you know like those two teams were kind of floating around?
No, I never heard of them before, to be honest.
That's it. I've heard of the Arsenals, but when they joined in 2021, they made Steel City FC, and ever since 2021, they've been doing great. They won their division last year, and that's what got them qualified to play for the U.S. Cup this year. So it's both teams are great.
No, good. We need good soccer teams. We need good soccer representation here in Pittsburgh. I was
I gotta tell you though,
oh, go
I
ahead.
gotta tell you though, the Steel City, their league has 4 conferences, 20 divisions, and 171 teams.
Wow, is that all?
Yeah. And of those 171 teams, a couple of them, including Steel City, got to play for the US Open. So it's kind of cool.
So this is something I just thought about. It was the thing I was thinking of. What if Steel City Football Club, it can't happen this year, but they beat everybody. They win the Lamar Hunt. They end up like squeaking by, beating all like Jamaica or whatever, and then they end up going to like the World Cup, and they end up playing like France or whatever, and it's like the scene from South Park where like the Detroit Red Wings took on like the preschool hockey team.
It's getting crushed. Oh, man, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I I don't know. It was cool going down this bit of history that's 100 years old, and I had no idea about any of it. It's Pittsburgh soccer has been a staple for generations, and it kind of fizzled out during the Great Depression. Like I think in the the most winning team in the United States was from Pittsburgh from like 1940s and 1950s. So like we hold a championship title in that level too.
And you know what? We even hold I'm going to go off topic of soccer for a second. They even hold a title in basketball in the ABA championship back in the days. I forget what year it was, 1940s or 50s, when the Pittsburgh Pipers and then they ended up turning into the Pittsburgh Condors. I only know that because I had a t-shirt once that had that on there.
Love that. I love that for you.
Thank you.
um, I'll ask you this: do you want to keep talking about soccer, or do you want to talk about something else?
If that's all the notes that you got, I mean, uh, what do you think about the World Cup this year? Do you think because you watched this soccer game, do you think you're going to give it a chance and kind of watch that?
I've been getting into some interesting things this year in particular. Like I watched a baseball game, I watched a soccer game. I'm watching all the the IndyCar races, F1 races. I'm trying to get into all of this stuff, and I feel like soccer could be on the radar. Like I'll add a couple of the Riverhound games to my calendar, and then when the World Cup comes around, I would love to watch USA try and do what they got to do.
At least that game will be on national television and have multi cameras. To ESPN Plus and whatever random channels on CBS. Get like one more camera person. That's all I want. Just one more on-field camera person. And then I will be glad to watch the Riverhounds without being like, I'm staring at the same thing.
Let's say this: most churches have at least 2 cameras. Come on, you got this.
Yeah. It's just like, oh. Here's the service." They're like have the camera on like the guy playing guitar. It's like, what?
So Bethlehem Steel in the Lehigh Valley from 1907 to 1930 was the most successful early American soccer club. So it wasn't Pittsburgh, it was Bethlehem that had like it's still to this day has like the most wins, tied for the most wins in US Cup history.
Nice. That's good stuff. JJ, thank you for your research on looking up soccer. Everything was fantastic. So, I guess since you're just like, "Hey, we have nothing else to talk about," and we technically got like 15 more minutes to talk. Let's talk about WrestleMania predictions, baby.
Oh god.
What do we think is gonna happen? You got the
So David Falavius, who played for the Hounds from 1999.
well, no, we moved on. We're on to the next thing. You got how
Caught me
about
off
this?
guard.
Because we don't have a lot of time, I'll only talk about the main people. Now,
I want to
JJ,
hear them all.
well, they don't have the whole card ready yet because this is a weird WrestleMania where people are randomly getting hurt and like they're just like, I don't know who's wrestling who.
Okay. Interesting. Maybe they'll just do one day this time.
Nope, not if it doesn't involve money.
I like money.
Okay. Main event for either night one or night two, because either one of these could be the main event. Uh, off the top of your head, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, CM Punk still wrestling.
He's the World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh my god. Does he seem happier?
Yes, he is happier. See, guys, see everyone listening at home. This is what I have to deal with. Someone that doesn't watch wrestling like a cool person would.
I think the last time I was super into wrestling was like 2013.
So, with your 2013 mind, who do you think's gonna win? The best in the world, CM Punk, or the big dog, but he's known as the tribal chief now, the OTC, the original tribal chief, uh, Roman Reigns.
The original Tribal Chief. I mean, doesn't Roman Reigns still have that trio of guys that they run around with the vests and everything?
Okay, you're way behind.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, you better be kidding. I was about to say, yeah, the Usos, they're part of the bloodline. Put up your ones. Oh, you, yeah, silly of me for you to think like, oh, you're thinking of the Shield.
Shield. I know Jey Uso. They tried to go over with him, and that didn't work out too well.
I have a theory that he is the new tribal chief, but you have
Is
not been
the
watching Raw. But Jey Uso has been barking orders, not barking orders, but like screaming orders to Roman Reigns to like beat the crap out of CM Punk and everything. So I have a prediction that Jey Uso might actually be the future tribal chief, but we'll have to see.
don't know what that means.
Okay, let's start here. Have you ever seen Moana?
I've seen Rock movies. Does that count? The Rock. I've seen
Oh,
the rundown.
since we're talking about Samoans, did you see The Rock with his long hair wig on in the new Moana trailer?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay. Two things you gotta check out. One, the one sounds like you watched already, the new Harry Potter trailer.
Yep,
And yep, and then the second one is the new Moana trailer. Watch both of those.
I will. I will watch. Well, I don't think I've actually watched the trailer for Harry Potter. I've just heard news about it. Moana, I haven't seen anything about that yet, so I definitely will watch that.
Yeah. And I have a question. Do you think CM Punk or Roman Reigns are going to win the match?
I think it's gonna be Roman Reigns because Jey Uso is gonna come out and be like, yeah," and then Roman Reigns is gonna win, and they're gonna cheat somehow, and they're gonna go, yeah, and then Uso is gonna beat the crap out of him.
I swear to God, if that's the prediction, if that happens, I would be like, my brother can be on the writing team. Just be like, I don't know.
It's just evolution with people from the Samoas, you know. That's all it is. It's evolution with Triple H and Batista and Randy Orton.
Speaking of evolution and a legacy, the other main event, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. What do you think of that? Why do you put your head down? Randy Orton turned bad. He's a heel again.
Randy Orton spits on the ground and sticks his tongue out. The dude's not right.
He beat the crap out. So he beat the crap out of Cody Rhodes, and then like the next week on SmackDown, he's like going over to people. He's just like, "Hey guys, sorry about that." And I showed a coworker this. It reminded me of when Brian owed Stewie money in Family Guy, and Stewie beat the shit out of Brian, and then just like, hey, a week later, "Hey, Brian, we're cool, right? You shot me in both of my kneecaps and lit me on fire. Piss off." Randy Orton's gonna win. I think that. So before you even say your prediction,
Man, I think Cody Rhodes is going to summon the spirit of his father who passed, and then he's going to pin him and have a hologram of that guy who's going to be the champion.
you don't even know Cody Rhodes' dad's name.
Dusty,
There you go. You got it.
Dusty Dinkelman.
Dinkelman. All right,
Hey,
last one.
by the
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we went to an Ali and AJ concert this past weekend.
Sounds miserable. So the last one.
All right.
Oh,
Let's hear it. What's
sorry.
the last
Was
one?
it good? Was it a good
Yeah, it was
concert?
fun. I
Okay.
didn't realize they sang so many good songs like that we knew from growing up. So I was like, oh, cool.
Can you sing me one of their songs?
No. But they have like the something breakup song, potential breakup song, and Rush. So a couple ones that, if you listen to them now, you'd recognize them.
Now, I picture you at the concert kind of like when you were a bass player in our band. I feel like you just kind of leaned against something and was like, just kind of going like that the whole time.
I call it my church sleigh whenever they're playing, if the band's playing, and you're just like, that's my church sleigh. I had that going the whole night. And the girl, there was Katie, me, and then this girl next to me who was like, she was letting her hair loose and kept smacking me in the back of the head with it. I was like, yeah. So I had to like move over behind Katie.
You're ruining my sway.
Everyone move.
Okay. And then finally, another match. This is just one I'm just randomly going to say out loud, and you won't know who anybody is. And I'm just going to say it, and I just want to hear your prediction. It is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar versus what is his moniker name? It's like eh, don't attack me on TikTok, please. It's like, oh, the ruler Obafemi.
What?
The ruler Obafemi. He's this giant guy, and his music has like, it's like boop, buh, 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 and he walks and he pumps his shoulders and arms and he goes to the ring like this, kind of like how like the Bushwhackers would go like this, but it's like a Kohler version of it.
Okay.
Oba
Okay.
Obafemi. Here's what he did. He took Brock Lesnar and gave him a pop-up power bomb and slammed him on the ground, and then put his foot on top of Brock and was just like, "I'm gonna beat this guy."
Wait, are they facing each other or tag team partners?
No, they're face. Why would they be tag team partners? He
I don't
power
know.
bombed him.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just got when we get off the air, I'll show you Obafemi. But Obafemi's gonna win. My prediction, and then people are gonna be like, "Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock," and then he's probably gonna like walk off to the sunset.
You think he's done wrestling?
I think he's gonna be done for a while. I think he'll come back randomly when the money's right. Rumors he's getting paid like 7 figures just to wrestle this one match and potentially put someone over.
So Boba Fett, I think, is going to win that fight then for
His
sure.
name's Obafemi.
Miss, I like to win.
Oh, just wait till we have our WrestleMania predictions episode. We ain't even done yet.
I just saw on like so on my work computer, there's this thing that pops up whenever you're like trying to get to your work screen, and it's like current events and current news, and it's always something stupid like this dog gave birth to something we don't recognize, and it's like a tiny dog. It's just like the dumbest news ever. And I guess WWE is bringing back some 83-year-old to wrestle in his last match at WrestleMania. Have you heard anything about that?
No, that's 100% false. It doesn't sound right at all. I think I think it's just clickbait.
Okay. I didn't click on it because I do not. I'm like, nope. I need to do my work and not waste time on these stupid things. So I wasn't sure if you heard anything about that. I thought it was the Undertaker for some reason.
Well, I will tell you what is not stupid is following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, and watching some of our shorts on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok which is up to 567 followers. And also, you can listen to us.
I hate you so much.
You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Leave a 5-star review and a comment and press subscribe.
When is WrestleMania?
April. April come you're like, April? Yes.
They don't have the cards yet? April's next week.
They have some of the matches established. I just went over some of like the big ones for you. I think
Thank God. I thought you were like, yeah, they have these 3 matches for 2 days ready in 3 weeks. I was like, what?
I think it's the 18th and 19th WrestleMania is. So that is when that is going down.
It's outstanding. Oh, wow. I may actually have to pop in and check some of that out.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add? Any other wrestling content you want to talk about?
No, I know we have an episode coming up next week, but for those out there who won't listen to us next weekend because of the holiday, I hope you have an awesome Easter. And Chris, I hope you have a great Easter too, no matter what you end up doing.
We're taking a break then. Easter break. we're taking a week off then. Week off we're taking. So you won't hear from us next week.
You don't want to talk next week?
Nah, we'll take an Easter break. I was actually
I'm off next.
I was actually just feeling a break recently. Like I'm getting a little tired. And then all of a sudden you just said Easter and I'm like, there's my opening.
Let's take 5 minutes real quick. I'm going with my wife to a condo in Myrtle Beach with her family, and we're going to be spending a couple days at the beach and doing, some stuff at the beach for. Actually, that's great because we're leaving Thursday night, so we wouldn't be able to record anyway.
Hey, it is break time. We are going to mom and dad's, and my wife is going to make her very famous. I call it bunny funeral, but it is called like a bunny carrot farm. So she's going to take dirt like pudding and put like, crumbles on top of it. And she takes strawberries and she dips it in orange stuff and makes it look like little carrots. And then she takes peeps and puts them all around and puts like little ears in the ground, which is why I call it the funeral. And she puts like the little bunny ears in the ground. And it's really cool. It's interesting.
That is awesome. And does it taste good? Does she? She's a great baker.
Oh, it tastes amazing. It is fantastic.
Are you guys gonna watch Ironclad?
We will watch Peter Cottontail. Carissa's trying to get me to watch The Chosen to get, caught up on the grand finale. I wonder what happens there.
You must.
I wonder what happens.
I mean, if you read the book.
Now I will stick with my Jesus Christ Superstar by the great Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber of book and lyrics.
You're missing out, man. You got to get past like the first 2 episodes of building the world, and it just blows your mind.
Okay, well, everyone, happy Easter, happy soccer. Let's go Hounds. I've been Chris.
I've been JJ. Thank you guys for listening. We love you.
Yeah, we'll see you real soon.